Hello, 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 hello. What ho, what ho. The Dungeon Minister here. And we're going to be painting. And as I say in the over on Twitter and Facebook, if you'd like to see a subpar painting job and a middle-aged man blathering, you've come to the right place. Just a little late night painting. Not late night, but late-ish night. I have recently come to the conclusion that, what I should do is whenever I'm up late watching YouTube videos, I should be painting at the same time. I have not done much of that. I came to the conclusion, but not the practice really yet. But anyway, tonight I thought I'd do that. Being on YouTube rather than watching YouTube, which is what I normally do with my evenings. Sad to say. I'm a real night owl. I stay up late. I get sucked into a YouTube whirlpool vortex kind of thing. Hungar, sir, how are you doing? I hope all is well in your world. Your brother was on painting earlier today, but then your brother's on painting pretty much every day. Hello, Road March. You're in the right place for the middle-aged painting and the last part of that, Road, I'm going to have to tell you. It's more like middle-aged painting and blathering, rambling. Anyway, that's what's up. What's up? Otherwise, this has been a very busy week. Get a picture up on page. It's been a very busy week. We rented a dumpster because the house has accumulated things over the years. It has accumulated things, and we just had a lot of junk. Hey, Mike, I am. We had a lot of junk to get rid of, so we have been. This is the stupidest share on all of YouTube right now. I would say a good half of that I threw in the dumpster today. Faux Fire and I, my wife and I, had a lot of heavy stuff. The rain barrel not so heavy, but a lot of it heavy. You can see in there past the long black pipe. That's a basketball hoop stand, and it's it clutters up the driveway, etc. And I figured I could just mount the hoop to the garage. You can actually see the backboard in the very far end of the dumpster. It got cracked, and so it's no good. But where was my point in this? I don't. Oh yeah, at the end of that, there's a table. There's a wooden table. My father-in-law made it, and he builds for sturdy. It weighed a ton. So getting it, and like an idiot, I didn't open the thing and chuck it in that way. I decided to go over the edge. I don't know why I did that. A doctor's appointment yesterday and found out they've lost 32 pounds in 3 months. Good heavens, Harkar. That's a lot of weight really fast. Now, was the doctor's assessment of that was a good thing, you've lost weight, or was it the doctor's assessment that, oh, dear Hungar, that's a lot of weight really fast? I hope it was a good thing if it was. Wisdom stat block is better than yours. I don't know, Road March. I don't know. See also the story about chucking that heavy table over the side of the dumpster rather than you've got a garage full of stuff you need to get rid of, Mike. Actually, Faux Fire just sent me a text about it was a meme. I used to envy other people's bank accounts and cars, and now such and such family has rented a dumpster, and so that's what he's envying now. Anyway, he was happy with it. Good. Well, good to do the blood work too. Hello, Jake Stewart. How are you doing? I hope all's well in your world. I'm not going to get the garbage off the screen, but that's what I've been doing, and that's what I've been doing for the last few days. We rented the dumpster. It's going to be picked up on Monday. Yeah, it's been a bit of a it's been a bit of a project. It has needed it for a long time. You know how you accumulate stuff. We renovated our house. When we moved in, it needed a lot of work. And so we did a lot of the reno ourselves. That means you accumulate things. There was trim all over in here that I fondly thought I was going to strip the old paint off and put back up. Well, first of all, a lot of it was pretty grotty when we took it off. It wasn't in good shape. Some of it broke coming off. And then the paint. This house, the people we bought it from bought the house in 1955. We bought it in 2009. Hey, Squirrel Hermit, how are you doing? And so for that, what is that, 45, it's 54 years. I think they spent it painting with lead paint. That's what all they did. Every year they painted with lead paint, everything. Because it was like that thick lead paint, you know. And stripping it to you couldn't use, we started using the eco-friendly ones, you know, nature's best paint stripper or whatever. And the paint just laughed. You could hear the paint laugh. So the work to get it stripped, it would cost less to buy new, and this was like the molding was like a foot tall around the edge of the room or more, and and around the doors it had this half round, big wide, chunky half round. It was beautiful. Not salvageable. We'd save stuff like that. We've been saving. Anyway, you didn't want to hear about my renovations or evening, Henry. You're painting too. I bet you're painting better. But I'm going to be painting something here. And I have to decide what I'm painting. This is the planning part. If you've been following the recaps, and speaking of the recaps, we have not played in a while now. And that's partly because I'm on vacation, and so which is strange. You'd think I'd have more time. But the routine changes, and so we just haven't. We've played, but Fleetwood was what is it? The keeper, the seeker, the bludger. I don't know what he is. Anyway, for Call of Cthulhu for us, and Bob Johnny took us through part of his mega dungeon. He's just level, you know, and that was pretty cool. But in the mega dungeon, we fought a 10-foot tall zombie. That was pretty cool. You want to hear about whatever I want to talk about? Oh well. Let me talk of politics and religion then. Yeah, we had a blast. We had a blast doing those, but we haven't played the Honeywood game in a while. So we are exactly where the recaps left us. The battle's over. The fireball's been launched. They know who did it. And now what? And that's the question. Now what? I have to have my glasses on to see. Ramble on. So I need to decide what to paint. Now, this is not a doppelganger. Having a doppelganger mini is sort of a stupid thing. I know they sell them, but like, why? It's almost never going to appear in its natural form. This is, no, that's not the one. Well, now I don't know where it is. I'll look for it. I thought that was it, but it's not. This is a very cool mini, but that's not the mini I wanted. So I'll try to vamp in the meantime. So I have to decide what I want to paint. What do I think they're going to do? I try to read their minds, predict what they're going to do. And I bet it was one of those other ones that's still wet. So some of the minis that I painted, and I just paint it with, I just prime it with rattle can Rust-Oleum. You know, one brand of mini, and it's a kind of rubbery plastic. It just doesn't dry. It just doesn't dry. So I don't know what happened there, and I don't know where they are. There, I know where they are. They're up there, but I can't paint him because he's not dry, as I have alluded to. Yeah, I bet he's one of those. It was a kind of cool figure. It's this sort of like gangly thing with a strange sort of like a mop head. I'm sure it's a monster in some manual that I've never read. But at any rate, Artisan Guild barbarians. Wow. Artisanal barbarians made with the finest Viking horns and bear skins. Anyway. So, yeah. Anyway, I was thinking I might use that for the doppelganger. But again, why would you have a doppelganger? And I described him as being just gray, so I could just plop him out there primed in gray primer, Reaper. Yeah, it doesn't like spray primer. Now what is that about? I don't understand that at all. It lands on the surface. Why? Well, these are secondhand. These are secondhand, Henry. So I'm sure they are well cured. I have no printer. I have no resin printer or anything like that, so I wouldn't be able to make them anyway. But the other thing I had is a he's been on the table already because I didn't get around to painting and they got around to fighting. But a hobby gobby. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I also have some archers, but I'm going to be realistic. I can only get one done tonight. That's just being honest. Just being realistic. So I'm going to slightly turn you and point you down. Here we are. And I'm going to change the light to make it a little brighter for you and a little brighter for me too. And I'm going to change it to a whiter light. There. This is almost clinical, like I'm operating on something. So how's everyone doing out there? Is your summer good? This is not brush for painting minis. This is for painting this. I'm going to do this too. This is a little wall section I did. Did I do this on camera? I can't remember. Just a little ruined wall I did, and I kind of like it. I got a black wash to give in the resin kit. These are very rubbery. Resin is sort of fragile and brittle, isn't it? At any rate, the ones that I have, they're very rubbery, and they but I don't know why that would be. I'm having trouble figuring out why. I'm sure there's a chemical reason for it. I'm sure a chemist could tell me. But it's frothy. I mean, the paint is landing on the surface. Why does that, unless it's activating something in the mini, which doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good at all. To scrub Reaper Bones minis with some soap and water before I paint them to get the manufacturing oils. Ooh, manufacturing oil. That makes sense. It could mix with whatever's on there. That makes sense. See, some people are smart, things. I don't know anything. So I'm just putting on a dark wash here to settle in the cracks, potentially destroy the mini and destroy the terrain. I don't know. But just a quick do this before I get to my mini. So yeah, how are things going? How are things going out there for everybody? Is summer turning out as you'd hoped it would? And what are you playing? What kind of games are going on out there? I gave you the update on us. Call of Cthulhu. D&D, sort of a Beckme 5e mashup from Bob Johnny. An idea that I think he got from Battle and Barrow. If you've missed up minis, yeah. I had another set that really took a long time to dry. The Horsemen, they didn't take as long as these things are. Actually, maybe they did. And I just walked away from them. I just walked away. I left them sit. And I said, well, eventually they'll cure. Eventually they'll dry. Like, I'm not in a rush on it. Well, maybe that won't settle in like I wanted to. But you know what? It's just going to have to do. Yeah, that's kind of nice. Getting in the cracks. Oh, should be on camera. Am I doing that off camera? Somebody tell me. There. So that's just a preliminary. I needed to get that done because it's been sitting on my desk without the dark wash, without the mortar lines really showing very well. And I keep thinking all it needs is a dark wash. Just do a dark wash. And I don't do it, and I don't do it. Because it's on my desk, right? It's right in front of me. Okay. This foul brew can go back to bed. I don't have a lot of room to right there. All right. First thing I kind of have to decide is what do hobgoblins look like? Is there a skin tone for them? Now I am amateur enough in my painting that when I have something I want to repeat later, I don't like to mix paint special for that because I feel like I'm never going to get it the same. Orange, says Henry. I had this sort of mustardy in mind. But again, I want to use what I have. In terms of, I want to use it right out of the bottle. I don't want to mix anything to get it. I mean, I guess you could just argue that, well, this guy's a little more, he's been in the sun longer. This guy's been, a homebody. He's been inside. So, your hobgoblins are orange, orangey brown. All right. Golden brown. Of course, that's not the color as it will turn out. It never is. But that is actually a kind of mustardy brown. I think hobgoblins are now golden brown. Can't read that. It's too blurry. Golden brown hobbies. I'll keep country maple out just in case. For later things, I'm sure something else will come along. All right. Well, here we are. Henry knows. Now, what I discovered late, I used to pour it into little egg cups. With a mini, you need so little paint. I just shake the paint, and then it's in the cap. And then that's my, because I'm not mixing colors, right? I'm not blending. It's fine. So I'm just gonna. I'll try. Move camera, not person. Is that going to be on camera? Ooh, it is. Not that you can really see very well, and not that it's really worth watching. Again, I know I really advertise myself on these, but I don't. What I don't want is someone to see, a painting live stream, and they show up and they're like, "This guy's no good. Who does he think he is?" I think I'm not very good at it. Is what I think. The fun is in the everyone can paint kind of mode rather than the this is how to do it, folks. Watch the expert. That's not me. You want expert painting? Go watch Paint Minis Live or some of those other folks. They know what they're doing. Me, I don't. I'm somewhat in the tester's paint. Slap it on. If it looks good from 50 feet, we're golden. Look, I got some on his shoulder. Look, it doesn't matter because I'm going to be going back over and covering all that up. Get his neck. His neck. The one thing I don't like is to see the gray showing. And the funny thing is, even when the part of the model that doesn't get covered, that I miss, and shows the prime and the primer, even when that part of the model should be gray, it bothers me. Like when I was doing the horses, I thought I could, some horses are gray. I could just leave one of them primer and it would be fine, but it just wouldn't, I wouldn't be fine. I would know I just skipped it, and it does. Somehow, for some reason, it doesn't look as good. Even though, again, my paint job isn't that good. Any painted mini is better than an unpainted one. Well, you know what? I'm going to actually contest that. When I was young, I had minis, gobs of them, but I never painted them. Nor did we use them on the table. I just had them in my room on my dresser as little models, like little statues. In the same way that a stone statue is just the color of the material, I didn't paint my minis. Now, later in life, I learned that medieval statues actually would have been brightly painted. So would have ancient statues. And that really bothered me then. It ruins the aesthetic that I thought I had going. If you think of the Venus of Milan and, bright pink. Oh. Oh, I hate when they're holding a weapon. And they're always holding a weapon. What kind of D&D miniature isn't holding a weapon? A wizard. Oh, shush. So, yeah, I'm on my vacation. So, at my leisure to do the cleanup stuff and to stay up too late. And is that hand there? It's gonna be. If I decide it isn't later, I'll paint over it. And one of the fun things is deciding where we're going to go to church, because of course I'm not going down to our church, and that's too much. No, that's his thumb. I guess that's his thumb. I guess it's actually just sort of a smudgy mini, is what it is. It's where the mold line goes through, and it's difficult to tell what's what. Ancient and painting little statues. Thanks, poor orc child. Thanks. Give it a dark wash on the gray, and it'll look better than just gray primer, probably. Good enough. That's a good motto. Good enough. The problem is, of course, some people like Paint Minis Live paints beautiful minis for me and sends them down, and they're up over. Really, it's almost a directly lateral move. It's almost straight east from where he is. I think we might actually be a little bit south. Anyway. But that's not the point. The point is he paints these beautiful models, and then he mails them to me, and I put them on the table next to my schlup, and suddenly, it's like, well, why are half of the people in our world really defined and the other half kind of blurry? They haven't shaved. Shush. Don't talk about it. We went camping the other day. I don't know if you saw on Facebook. I put the vacationing picture, just a picture of my face, or half of my face. But we went camping, and that's always fun. That's always fun. We had beautiful weather too. It did not rain a bit. It's the first time I think in maybe 3 years we've gone camping without some rain. I find I have a brush that has retained its point, but this is the closest I've got. It's got a couple of schnitzels sticking off, but oh well. Yes, hide my minis from his in the terrain. I've based this one with a cup. Poink. This guy is going to be inside. All right, so I've got the orangish down. I'll go back later and do eyes and that kind of stuff, but that'll be a last ditch thing. Last ditch, not last ditch. Last step. Now he's got armor on. Should it be metallic armor, or should it be like a leather, like a hardened leather? Could make. We've got these things. These would be obviously going to be metal. The plates that hang down. You can't really see the plates that hang down here. I'm going to make those metal. It's hard to see. I wish I had a better camera, but I don't. The greaves will probably be metal as well. I'll do metal on the backs of his arms and his pauldrons. Pauldrons, is that it? This sort of symbol here, I'll probably do in a red or something. And I'm thinking almost maybe it should be metal. Maybe it should be metallic armor. What do you think? Metallic armor or hardened leather for his breastplate? Sort of vacillating. He's got quite a nice sword on him. Done. He's just all in metal. He's all in gray armor. Yeah. Metal armor or a hardened leather. So in my world, these and this may be standard for goblins. I don't know. In my world, they're very much the Horde, the Golden Horde, plainsmen moving across the plains to raid. In the Hobgoblin's case, they're more raid and pull back. They don't tend to overcommit. But they have conquered a great deal to the east and south of their position. And where they are now is actually pushing toward the west. All right, I'm not getting any reply here on whether it should be leather or metal. You are wisely letting me make that decision. I'm not going to metal. Well, let's see, what do I have? Well, not gold. I may use some gold later. Shimmering silver. More gold. Oh, speaking of orange. Orange! I thought I had copper. Worn penny. Worn penny. No, I'm changing my mind. I want it to be hardened leather. So it's going to be a cinnamon brown, I think. Cinnamon brown. I went to school with cinnamon brown. Nice girl. No idea what that means. Okay. So his breastplate is a cured leather. The cinnamon brown is a warm brown. So it kind of has that look of leather. It's a sort of plated thing as well. It's plates of hardened leather. I don't know why I decided it was hardened leather. I just did. Maybe that doesn't look good. Maybe I should go with metal. No, I like the leather. I like the leather. These guys they're very practical, and it will be thoat skin. That's what they ride. They ride the six-legged thoats across the landscape. Boy, I'm going to try to make this not a fast paint like I'm speeding through it, but I'm trying not to linger too much. Meaning it'll be bad. Meaning it'll try to. I'm just going to accept. I'm not going to let perfect be the enemy of good. How's that? Do I ever use washes? You know what? I don't, Dark Wolf. I don't. I just used a wash on this wall, and it didn't do much of anything, as it turns out. Well, oh well. It wasn't much of a wash. It's really just craft paint and water. I don't. You've seen the meme, a little cartoon of one character saying to another, "I'd like to paint minis, but it seems there's so much to think about." And the other character says, "Oh no, all you have to do is prime them and then paint them and maybe add a wash." And the other character says, "Okay," and jumps in the water. And he just keeps sinking. And as he's sinking, the other character is going with him, saying, "Oh, then of course you have to think about the brushes. You have to get horsehair brushes. You have to do this and that and the other thing." It's like a million different things as he goes. That's how I feel approaching mini painting so often. Like there's just so much that you could go so far in how you approach the hobby, and I don't have that kind of focus. I don't have that kind of time for one thing, but focus, really. I just don't. I'm like, I just want to get on with the game kind of thing. I'm very impatient that way. So, and I know, and you feel like, well, a wash that isn't much. That's a real simple thing. Yeah, I know. But I'm just at that's my level. It's no, I'll just slap some craft paint on it. Thanks. Part of it also is that if the details were shown, that might be a bad thing with my painting. If you see too many details, you might say, "Oh, he really does not know what he's doing." It's best if it's just a little blobby on the table. Okay. Don't know how I'll like that decision at the end, but I like it now. That's fine for now. All right, now he's got this big sheath across his back. This big sheath across his back. That's going to be. Let's see. Should he be? This is a commander. This is a honcho. I think I'm going to make the detailing on that. I think that's going to be a deep red. And because it's something I'm only doing one of, I don't really need to worry too. Oh, but I have burgundy. I wish I had burgundy, but I've got burgundy color. I'm going to make it burgundy, folks. That's what I'm doing. Blob. Look at me. I'm a mess. I don't have anywhere to put anything. I don't want live paint in front of me. This old dried stuff is fine, but a live smear, I'm going to end up with that on my clothes. And clergy shirts are stupid expensive. Like, really, it's like wedding dress. You put the word clergy in front of shirt, and suddenly the shirt's 3 times as much as it should be. That, or I just haven't left the 80s and 90s in purchasing. My attitudes about prices. But the price is wrong. Like $90 for a shirt. What, are you kidding me? Doesn't even have a collar on it, for crying out loud. Washes are a cheat. You're a simple painter. See, I think everyone draws the word simple at a different point on the battlefield, right? Everyone draws the word simple at a different level. Because like that meme suggests, you can just keep going with painting. There's no end to the complexity of painting minis if you want to go that way, right? So you can go quite a while into the hobby and do quite a bit more and still be a very simple painter, right? Or like me, you can drive by at 100 miles an hour, slap paint on something and run. Man. Hello, Robert Grabowski. How are things with you? How are things with you? Yeah, like that. And now I get to the point like, okay, no one's going to turn the mini over and look underneath his scabbard. But I'll know. I try not to slop, even when I know I'm going to go over the part that I would slop on. I know I'm going to go over that again later anyway. It hasn't been painted yet, but I try not to slop if I can help it. Sometimes I can't help it, though. Because I have the fine motor skills of a drunken orangutan. Ludicrous Speed. Hope you're well too. Hope you're well too, Robert. You've gone plaid. I know that. I know that. And I'm going to take that same burgundy, and his thingies on the other side of his wrists are going to be that color. Because why not? And I'm going to use silver, I think, or gold. I'll decide as the details on these things. And I'm going to try to fancy up. If and I can, and then maybe I can't. Maybe I just can't. Oh, that's too much paint. Even I know that. So it was last week was murderously hot here. And even into this week, it was really hot. But the last couple of days has cooled down, which is nice because I say we got this dumpster. You have dinner with your wife? Excellent. You have a great night, Rob. You have a great night. I say we got this dumpster to fill. And, you know, in hot weather, oh, not fun. But it is, it's much better now. I did have one of those days where as I was doing things, I kept shifting what I would do one. So I'd clear something off of the sun porch. I'd get a box off the sun porch. I'd walk it out to the garage. I got out to the garage. I see something out there that needs clearing or doing or tidying up. And I'd shift to do that. I'd get that done. And then I'd see something else and I'd go to another thing. And I kept doing that. And I realized at the end of the day, it actually really helped because I didn't get slogged down with anything because I kept shifting. I kept changing. I mean, I was at one point I grabbed the big tree cutting things and the saw and went out and took a bunch of branches off that were pushing onto our garage from the neighbor. And he doesn't care at all. It's like, yeah, sure, whatever, cut whatever down. I don't care. He spends no time outside. So he doesn't care what sure, go ahead. And they're weed trees, just in the fence line kind of things. So I was, hauling stuff to the dumpster, and then I did that, and I switched to something else. And I think doing that helped because I didn't get really bogged down in anything. I didn't get really tired of any one thing. I got a lot more done that way, I think. So that was kind of cool. Yeah, it was an arborist. I walked past the garage and I remembered there was a nail pop. Our garage has sort of a corrugated plastic roof. And I walked past and said, hey, there's a nail pop there. So I dug out the ladder and went up and hammered that down. And then when I was up there, I noticed that the eaves troughs were clogged. So I unclogged those and grabbed the hose and sprayed water down them. And then I realized one of the things we threw in the dumpster was a rain barrel. And so I put the eaves trough back down to the ground level where the rain barrel had been. It cracked. And so then I've got this. So then I go over to that, and I think, may as well make sure this one's clear because I've connected the bottom, but I hadn't looked at the top. I did that, and I think just ping-ponging from job to job to job without much sense of why, without much connection. Like there wasn't any sort of clear, now it's time to go on to the next thing. It was just bouncing around. But like I say, I got a lot done, Still have to do the basement, and I dread that because not only do I have to carry everything upstairs, the stairs are about that wide and rickety and uneven. Like this is an old house. And I think they threw in the stairs as a afterthought, like, we've dug the cellar. How's anyone going to get down there? Oh yeah, So I got to go do the cellar, and I do dread it. It's not a lot of stuff down there because, again, it's so difficult to go up and down, and we don't spend any time down there. It's not like we It's not finished or anything. It's a rough stone walls with this strange sort of seafoam green paint that was everywhere in this house at one point. It had been painted over. I was looking at that trim that I was talking about taking out a few. It had been painted a sort of creamy white, off-white kind of thing. And I missed a bit. And I looked at it today and realized that even that stuff had that seafoam under it at one point. And it's crazy. Like, it's not an attractive color. Not at all. But it was everywhere. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. We had a one of those push me pull you kind of mowers, the non-electrical, non-motored, one of those, and we just realized we don't need it. We don't use it. We have a battery operated electric one, and the boys can push that. At least Fleetwood and Touchberry can. Bob Johnny's still a little too young for it still. They can push it, so there's no reason to have this thing, which we bought so that they could do the yard, right? But I didn't want to put it in the dumpster because it's still perfectly good, but I didn't want the hassle of trying to sell it. So Fofire says, just put it out to the curb with a free sign. Someone will grab it. And some other like garden implements that we have 2 or 3 of, and blah blah blah. I'm putting this stuff out. I put it out, and it's not half an hour, and I'm still working away in the yard, and this old guy comes along on a bike. He's got to be 6'2" and 30 pounds wet, right? He's this old skinny guy with a big old Santa beard. And first he's looking at the hand tools, and there was a hoe and a weeding thing, and I said the Santa beard. And I really wanted to make a bad joke about picking up a hoe, but I didn't. I refrained. But he eventually decides he's going to take that lawnmower. That was what stopped him. Actually, was the lawnmower. He was looking at the other stuff. He took those as well. He took those triangular shaped weeding things. You pull it back to weed, and a hoe. And he took the lawnmower, and he had the bike. And so he's trying to figure out how to pull with one hand and push the bike with the other, and then where's he going to put the? And I almost asked, how far are you going? But I know everyone in this neighborhood. I knew he must be going quite a ways. I did not have time to go walk with a guy all the way to his house. So I watched him go. I have no idea. I hope he got home. I hope he got home all right. It was an ambitious thing to try to do. All right. A little bit of the gold paint. Yeah. I don't know why. I do the silly voices. So yeah, we have not played in a while now. So I've got to get the. We're going to play this weekend, and see where they go from where they've gotten themselves stuck. I don't know. Don't know if they're going to be able to. They want, just judging by what they say, they want to pursue Silverian and bring him to account for his treachery. But they are nearly dead. And in fact, actually, Silverian had hoped they would be dead when he left. He launched that and ran, and assumes, or hopes at least, that it did its job. It didn't, which we know, but He kind of thinks it did and hopes it did. But if nothing else, it has gotten him down low enough in hit points that he's them down in hit points low enough that he would not be afraid of them at this point, even though there's 4 of them and 1 of him. He was very careful during the battle not to put himself into too much danger. It's something the players didn't really notice. He was always a little outside of the action. He did get in a little bit. He killed some orcs, but I mean, he doesn't care about the orcs, right? He's using the orcs. He doesn't care. So yeah, I don't know if they'll chase him into his lair. It'd be a very dangerous thing to do. This brown is too close to the other. Oh no, it's different enough. It'd be a very dangerous thing to do, to chase him into his lair. They know where it is now. They know whose it is. They understand all things, but yeah, they don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. Like, for drama's sake, I hope they follow him. I do, because that would be good drama. But I hope they don't get themselves killed. Man, sometimes the crevices and cracks are a bit much. Okay, it's been 47 minutes, and I haven't even gotten to the pauldrons yet. Pauldrons, am I saying that right? Pauldrons. Paul's drones on sale now. I think that's enough distinction from the other paint. Don't think I need to do more than that. Man, persnickety is the word. I thought he was, and he is in a pretty simple pose. I have to say, I've mentioned this before, next level miniatures, and I'm sure they do it because it's easier to bring them out of the mold. But I mean, you see how flat that pose is. Everything's open, right? There's very few crevices, although I'm finding a few now that are kind of obnoxious, but mostly he's pretty open, so he's easier to paint than a lot of things can be. Burnt umber. Cinnamon again. I just caught it on a couple of spots where I need to fill in. Yeah, so we'll see what they do. But I'm preparing these guys anyway, because as we know, again, if you're one of the people who watches the recaps, if you just come in here for painting, well, first of all, if you just come in for painting, honestly, I'm so sorry, but if you watch the recaps, you'll know that there is a hobgoblin orcish army on its way to the kingdom of Strath Unwin, to the corner of it, watched over by Lord Morgan, Lord Morgan Marr. So that's going to be. I'm going to need some hobbies, some hobgoblins. Now, I don't know, as I don't remember, there were so many. I'm trying to remember if there were hobgoblins in what Lawrence sent for Claricon, because of course Claricon isn't until October, and until October, those minis are just hanging out. So if he does have them, Then I may put this guy at the back of the army and put his up front, because I'm sure they'll be better. And run it that way. Because this is next level miniatures, and Lawrence is big in next. He can talk. He's big in next level miniatures. Next level. I can't speak today. First day with Ellipse. Okay, so black here. And I give him his hair. There is a sort of, I think, in Hobgoblins to begin with, there is a sort of sense of the Mongolian horde. We're talking Genghis Khan, etc., etc. Let's try to do that on camera. So the black hair is kind of de rigueur. They always seem, in all the art I see of Hobgoblins, they pretty much always have a more Eastern aesthetic. The same way that, like, orcs are essentially football hooligans. You read Tolkien, and it's really obvious that, like, I don't know if there were football hooligans in Tolkien's day, but the chaps whose ancestors would be football hooligans, or whose descendants rather would be football hooligans, clearly inspired William and Tom and Bert, right? The trolls, if not the orcs as well. So it's funny when people saying, orcs are racist, it's supposed to be black people. It's like, they're really supposed to be English hooligans, just judging by the way they talk. Sounds more like the lads down at the pub had a few too many, and now they're gonna head out and take the hobbits to Isengard. Taking the hobbits to Isengard. They're taking the hobbits to Isengard. Guard. Working on the house as well. Just finished mother-in-law suite in the basement. Oh, nice. Huge project. That would be a huge project with a kitchen, bathroom. Wow. Holy cow. That's major stuff. That's like what we did when we moved in here, but it was for us, not for someone else. That's big. That's a big project. It's a big old project. Now, is that a DIY? Or is it directing the work of a contractor, etc.? Which is also a pack of work. I have parishioners, God bless them. Actually, he recently died. Dear sweet man. But they had been, for the last 2-3 years now, they've had 2 basement floods. Well, I mean, the same basement. It's flooded twice. And just working with the people to get the thing, the insurance company first to get the money to pay for it, and then to get the contractors to get the work done. And oh my, what a headache. Okay, this brush does not, it just wants to flare out. It's got like flyaways. When a woman's hair kind of starts to come out of her hairstyle, you get the little flyaway hairs. This brush is getting that. If any gray shows along the hairline, I'll just say he's graying at the temples and leave it at that. Yeah, so is that all DIY stuff, Road? That's a pack of work. It's a pack of work either way. Yeah, those are going to be the red too. I'm liking the red. I'm liking the burgundy. I have a root beer, speaking of beverages. Oh, sorry, that might have been kind of loud. Sorry. Come on, mug. pony up with a sponsorship. Only root beer that's significant. I mean, I like A&W. I like the Dad's, but I like Mug quite a bit. The only one that the absolute king of root beers for me is Sprecher in Milwaukee. That's the best root beer. Little DIY, add a contractor. I'm too old for this stuff now. 58, yeah. Hey, I hear you. 52, and I wouldn't be taking any of that on. I tell you right now. I look at what we did. I mean, like this place, it was lath and plaster, no insulation, of course. The configuration of rooms was the rooms upstairs were partition walls. And when I say partition walls, it was beadboard, lap and tongue and groove beadboard stood on end between quarter round trim at the bottom that was nailed to the floor with a space between to hold, it's like quarter round, the beadboard going vertical, and then another quarter round to hold it in place. That was the wall. That was it. Fire code? What fire code? It was just, there's no closets in the place. It was just a completely, the furnace was good, although we just had that redone because it was no longer any good, but that was 16 years ago. The furnace was good. The roof at the time, again, we just had that done too, was okay. But yeah, the sort of the stuff of a house that you see and interact with, walls and stairs and doors and everything, just a mess. And carpet stank. The woman we bought it for, God bless her, she was well into her 90s, and I think well into she should have gone to a home several years before she went, kind of thing. And you could tell where she ate her meals, because when we went to vacuum the rug, like suddenly there's all the that clicking, that clattering that happens when you're vacuuming up chunks. Nothing else, nowhere else in the house was there anything like that. But you got to that spot, and like she had her meals in that chair every day for whenever, And I'm in what was her bedroom, because she couldn't do the stairs anymore for the longest time, so she was downstairs. And so her bed wasn't in here when we bought it. Everything had been moved out because she was in a home by then. But she, in the pictures, in the real estate, pictures, her bed is right about where I'm sitting right now. Actually, I would be sitting on the side of the edge of her bed, painting minis. That would be weird. What are you doing here? Who are you? I'm going to buy your house in a little while. Oh. Well then, love, have yourself a snack. She was a nice lady, from what I understand. She actually went to the church, the Anglican church here in town, which has the same name, St. Albans, as our church in Glen Williams. So St. Albans Anglican Church, within 12, 15-minute drive of each other, because before you invent the car, you can do that. A little confusing. And the rector of St. Albans in the Glen cannot afford to live in the Glen. But it's worth the drive to Acton, as I say. Still have to do custom cabinets for the pantry, master bedroom, bathroom, closet, and small storage room. That's a load of work right there. Cabinetry is fussy work. Very fine. Very, very fine work. Very fine work. That is not something I would undertake. I'm not at that level. Cabinetry, I can do rough, I did shelves for our closets, right? Rough. I did one shelf that was kind of nice. wonder if I have pictures of it still. I wonder why I'm bothering to look it up. But let's see. It was in. I could find it by date probably. Maybe not. Was it actually that summer? I did it during the lockdowns. Problem with it, of course, is it's not like it's like, oh, well, obviously it's in the month of your vacation, because it wouldn't be. I had nothing to do. Nobody could go anywhere, so I had nothing to do. So I did that. Where's my? Pardon my head. Where's my arrow keys? This desk is so small. Not small, it's just narrow, I guess, is what it is. Well, now I'm looking for a picture of something that has nothing to do with painting, so I'm sure that's not entertaining for you. Sorry. Yeah, like I would search, but I can't even get to my keyboard, so I can't type the search term shelf. Oh well. Well, I'm not gonna find it tonight. I don't think. I don't even know if I did it. I don't even know when in the lockdown. They went on forever. I don't even know when in the lockdowns I did the thing. Oh, I did one for the upstairs hallway. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. I'll try to find one that doesn't include pictures of the family, because we don't really want to put them online. Not interested. Oh, come on, where is it? And you're sitting there saying, quit looking, you jerk, just get on with the painting. Or you're saying, there is no shelf, Father Aaron, you didn't do a shelf. I don't even believe it. I bet I can do this. Then I can do this. No, not that. Discard. Zoom. Yeah, there we go. Hello, Mike. Hello, Negative Headspace. We cheat and use as much pre-made stuff as possible. Yeah, well, hey, that's what you do it. Yeah, this is what I made. And this was fun because the back of it, you could see the sort of on the back here, the slats. Those were the slats from our old bed. Those are the slats from our old bed. But yeah, that was a fun one to make. Anyway, okay. I showed you that because I was starting to get stymied with this. Okay. All right, so his sleeves, I'm just going to give those. Like he's got some sort of a vanilla. He's wearing a vanilla shirt underneath it all. That can be too light. That's going to be too light. That's going to be too light. Never mind that. He's not wearing vanilla. He's wearing tan. He's wearing a tan. This thing is driving me nuts. This brush just doesn't want to stay in a point. Thanks there, Mike. Thanks, Rode. It worked out. Negative. It worked out nicely. It's still, still now it's loaded with books. Then if that was the art shot, you have a handful of books on it, like it's like a magazine or something. Now it's just crammed with books. Boys are all readers. Ha! One that is sharp. You can't tell. It's blurry. I can't see. Crazy. My camera is no great shakes. My apologies there. So, yeah. What was I painting the other night? I was painting something. Oh, I should show you the green dragon. I did a few touch-up details, and I just slapped flat Mod Podge over it, over the top of it, to protect the paint job and to give it just a little bit of shine. And I know, like, it wouldn't really have shine, but it somehow just looks better to me. I don't know why. Is that a strap? It might be a strap. Yeah, I think I'll paint over that later. That's a strap. Do. What I have to read? Oh, no, that's the edge. I got to redo that. I got to do that anyway. Well, it's not great, but it'll do. Again, do not let perfect be the enemy of good. Just get it done. We're playing on, I think we're playing Sunday because Fofire and the boys are going to a library tomorrow to pick up more books. And I'm doing Nerd Council of Doom tomorrow. Nerd Council of Doom at 3 p.m. Eastern time. I think last time I live streamed it here, but I think I'm just going to let it stream on its own channel because we're trying to get people to subscribe to that channel, so it's kind of in one place. And I think live streaming at other places is not helping our cause. If what we're trying to do is get people to that channel, streaming it other places is sort of counterintuitive. Yeah. Hey, good night, Henry. Getting punchy, I am too. Third of the way done with your barbarians. Well, good job. Good Nacht. I always like more books. I mean, you could probably in the shot behind me. I mean, it's terrain up there. But I just finished another Brother Cadfael mystery that I started that book like 3 or 4 times. It just didn't grab me, but I felt I needed to read it. And it's not like, I haven't read all of the Cadfael books, but we have about 6 or 7 of them. And I've read all of the ones I've read all of the ones we have. And I really felt like I needed to read all the ones. I don't know why. I don't know why I had that, compulsion, but I did. He's going to go, no, I'm going to go silver. Partly the gold paint is not easy to use. It's not really a paint. I don't know what it is with this stuff. It's like water with glitter in it. It's really not, it doesn't paint easily. It's all very, I don't know. That's actually, maybe that'll work. Because I would prefer gold on him. I think he's pretentious enough, this guy. So I was thinking about hobgoblins for my world. And I've decided that they are essentially sort of proto-communist. Ideally, they don't own anything. Ideally, they have no personal possessions. They have everything is communal. But the reality, just as in every communist system that's ever been tried, is that the elite have their own things. which they are granted for the good of the good of the collective. It's better for them to have this so that they can do their work better, but it really is just because they're on top. And so they because my idea of their capital is really not the right word, because this isn't their center of operation is further east, but the base that they're the ones that are entering my story, the base that they're working out of, I conceived of it as very hive-like. I don't know if you've ever played the video game Riven. Hello, Jorge. If you ever played the video game Riven, and it has this sort of hive structure. It's on the cover of the video game, the box. That's kind of place they live, but it towers over a section of Badlands on the plains. They're very much a plains culture. Hey Jorge, hey Jorge, hey Jorge. So they they have this sort of collectivist model. And I have in mind the story A Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich, where he has the trowel that he likes. Like, it's the best trowel. It's the one that, it works best. It's not worn to a nub. It has a good handle, kind of thing. I can't remember all the details on it, but I remember him coveting this one trowel. Of course, all the workers tried to get it. This idea that, that's a feature of their culture, that they're not supposed to have private ownership. Very communal, very so anyway, just got 2 books in the mail today. The first, The Germans in East Africa in World War I. The second on the Fiat. Oh my heavens, that is a variety in topics. Just got in for my Friday night D&D game. Hey Jay. Oh, great to see you here. Great to see you here. I'm actually not out at all. I'm so firmly in. I could not be any further in. The dog is getting a little worried here about me being so in. When I came down from getting the boys in bed, and he's sprawled out on the sofa, and he sees me come down the stairs. Like, oh, good. We're gonna do our. I'm not gonna say the word because he'll go crazy. We're gonna do the thing that we do at night, where you put a leash on and we do something, and that sounds bad. We go out the door. We're gonna do that, and I'd say, no, buddy, we're doing it later tonight. You relax, have a nice nap there on the sofa. Now he's under the desk, so he's right beneath my feet. One of the nice things about when you're doing a clean out is that you realize all the stuff you had, and you find in old things, projects that you got half finished or didn't even get started. You just have the materials for it. You go, oh yeah, I was going to do that. And I have this big chunk of foam, and I was always going to use it for a little bed for the dog under my desk. He likes to sleep there anyway, but there was just a blanket on the floor, kind of dirty blanket on the floor. And I thought, I could do better than that for him. I'll get a little bed under there. And I had the piece of foam, and I got busy with stuff, and it never happened. Doing all the clean out. My wife finds it, and she says, do you want to keep this? It's like, oh, there it is. Yeah, I was going to do something with that. So now Now he's got a little bed underneath my. It really all is just that chunk of foam. You know, they're like upholstery foam with the same dirty blanket now cleaned. It'll get dirty again, but wrapped around it, so it's just so it's familiar to him, but cozy and soft. Not that he seems to care. He flops down anywhere, right? Dog. Typical of a dog. Oh, I need my other. It's one of those areas where things get a little dicey because the mold line comes through. So just, I should do this on the back of the sheath as well. So this guy is getting fancy here. He's got a lot of gold trim going on now. I'm holding my breath, so I'm not talking. Sorry. Here we are. So some detail. You can't see a darn thing. This really is the lousiest camera, I have to say. Maybe if I do that, does it any better if I block some of the stuff down here? Stop focusing down here. Focus up here. You don't really do that though, do you? No, you're not that kind of camera. You're just not that kind of camera. Poop. Poop, 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 poop. I wonder if I've got anything. I'd really overwhelm it with. Well, you can kind. No, you can't. Man. Stop focusing out there. Hello, Chris. Anyway. Put that on my Christmas list. Better camera. Pax Vobiscum, stopping in late. Speaking of doppelgangers, I have written up one dealing with a malady where you cannot deal with all the personalities he has taken on. Ooh! That sounds like fun. Doppelgangers beginning to have a nervous breakdown, hopping from persona to persona. But who am I, Doc? That's what I want to know. It's laying on the sofa in the therapist's office, but I want to know who I am. Shuninja, take some time and find yourself. Remember, people go to find themselves. They tend to be in Africa. Don't know why. Just always seems to be where they go to find themselves. It's astonishing how many of them run off to Africa. Okay. I have all the Gen X cynicism bottled on up. Here we go. Oh, it's a little better. Okay. All right, now this here is going to be what? Good question. Burgundy. With a German accent. Und ja, sehr gut. So every psychiatrist has to learn the German accent so they can sit on the sofa and say, so why do you feel this way about your mother? It is absolutely necessary. Psychology cannot be done without the German accent. But sometimes an accent is just an accent. You gotta admire Freud. Everything you do is some sort of secret sexual meaning, but the fact that I like big fat cigars, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. Sure it is, Doctor. Sure it is. All right. He's got a title belt. Yes, sir. Got a Worldwide Wrestling Federation champion here. Okay, I'm going to keep going. I've got to do some detail work there, but that's still wet for a little bit, so I'm going to keep going down. Now, I don't think I can pretend. Will these skirtings, would they be the same hardened leather? Mel Brooks is Van Helsing? Well, then, Road, that's not where we'll look for you. If I go to find myself, I'll probably be at the Cinnabon at the local mall. Those, would they be? Yeah, I'm going with the gold for the trim. Oh, I missed some trim. I'll do the trim while I think about this, whether they should be hardened leather or whether they should be metal. I feel like he'd sort of have gone for metal everywhere. If he was going to have metal, he'd have breastplate would be metal. Like that'd be the first thing you'd do, right? Helmet and breastplate would be the first things if you're going to have metal armor. You wouldn't do other stuff first. And since he has a hardened leather armor on his chest, I'm also thinking that hobgoblins are less. Their fighting style is less brute, more finesse. They are the thief class, not the fighter class. You know what I'm saying? When the thief class was first originated, the idea was that it was a fighter class. It was it was not a sneak thief kind of thing. It was he buckled swashes, right? Your swash is unbuckled, but you're in luck. I'm a swashbuckler. Just let me buckle that for you before we fight. Oh, thank you. I don't want to go into a fight with my swash unbuckled. No, that would be most unwise. Yes, been reading. We just finished Grey Mouser. Freud was full of poop. Pull it tighter so I can see quick. So like this, the problem with pulling it tighter is that it's a lousy camera. It's a lousy camera, so you really can't tell much. I mean, unless maybe it's my monitor. Maybe my monitor stinks, but I don't think so. I think it's my camera. You know what I did? I did when I was doing the Green Dragon. I'll do it again now. I will take a picture, and then I will upload the picture, and then I will put the picture on screen as a sharing screen thing. It's a long road around to get to this point. But it does the job. Sort of. Sort of does the job. Okay, photos. Come on, upload. Cool. Edit because it's turned. Boink. And we're going to crop. Wow. When you look at it like this, they look really bad. It looks really bad. But that's okay. That's okay. So that's how he looks right now. Yeah, the hands don't look too bad. Oh, my hand. Yeah, interesting. You can see detail. Well, no, that's now I'm looking at the photo. Yeah, like, well, no, my hands are blurry too. Anyway, that's what he's looking like so far. That's what he's looking like so far. Okay. Hey, dog. He stirs beneath me. He was out because we were doing so much work outside. My wife put him on the line. We have a line that stretches across our yard. And at one point, if he really pulls, he can get to the front gate and right up to the sidewalk. Well, we were, working away, and he was on the line. He was chewing on a stick or something, like, the dogs do. And it was fine. God was in his heaven, and all was right with the world. And suddenly we hear this woman, not quite a shriek, but she sort of, oh. We look up, and she was walking past our house and gotten right to the gate, and Magoo went for, he was going to say hello because he's, if anything, overly friendly. There's not a vicious bone in his body. He wouldn't even know how to attack someone if he tried. But he's a lot of dog. He's a coonhound Rottweiler, so he's a big piece of dog coming at you, right? And so it rather intimidated her, as it would, which is kind of the point of a big dog. But so we had to put an obstacle so we couldn't get right to the gate anymore. We weren't going to be right on him. We weren't going to be right on him, keeping him well behaved. He is a well-behaved dog, generally speaking. He gets excited in the morning when we come down. When I come down the stairs, it's like, I've been gone for 1,000 years, and he chomping it, like wiggling his butt so much, you think it's going to come off. And it's kind of, it's a nice thing to have when you come down in the morning. It's a nice greeting. It's a nice greeting. This is what I do when I paint. I keep going back and forth because I keep seeing little bits that I want to fix. It's terrible. I would never ever be able to paint with an airbrush, because it would drive me nuts. Because I would keep wanting to switch back and forth to fix little details I saw that I missed. But you gotta like empty out the airbrush, and you gotta commit. I'm gonna do this color for like the next 20 minutes. When you got an airbrush, you can't just keep hopping back and forth. So it would kill me. It would kill me. I'm too fussy. I'm too fussy as a painter. I can't do that kind of stuff. So yeah, Magoo was making friends today. So she didn't really want to be friends, I don't think. Don't think she wanted to be friends. She was nice about it. She wasn't rude or anything, but he was. Going all jumpy at her. You hear that, dog? I said you're scary. I know you don't mean to be. You're just a doofus. You're a doofus. Just saying what's true, dog. Just saying what's true. His big thing this summer, his big thing has been ice cubes. I'll be out working, and of course it get hot out there, and I come in to get a drink of water, and I put ice in my water bottle. I guess metal water bottle I tote around, and he hears me cracking ice out. He comes running, and he looks at me like I've got steak. He takes the ice cube, crunches on it, slobbers all over the floor. Hey, Nordic, you doofus. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. And just talked about the dog. Battle of Wagram from the Napoleonic Wars. Nice. Nice. There we go. Well, he's getting there. He's getting there. Okay, this thing he's got at his waist looks like a scroll case to me. So that's what I'm going to do it as. Ow. And it's going to be copper. Negative Nordic. Nordic negative. Nordic headspace. Negative maelstrom. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but that's what it's going to be for me. A scroll case. Oh, I see more stuff I need to paint. I missed. It's this never ending mini. It's really simple mini that comes out of it. I'm just, as I said on Facebook and Twitter, a subpar painter. I revel in it. You go, my friend, you go. The French are putting on a beating on the Austrians. The dice keep rolling in their favor. Well, that was Napoleon's experience as well. Generally speaking. Just because I like the contrast, we're bringing in some... Ooh, no, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm going to do. And I consider this the big thing, right? Like I'm really happy about this, but it's just such a tiny, but there it is. Caps of it black. And there's this thing in the middle that, if it is a scroll case, which I've decided it is, then it would be like a seal or something on the scroll case. Yes, dog. Now I'm going to, quick while I have it in mind. Yeah. Just get some brown in there to fill that space. No. Yeah. I watched the movie Waterloo for the first time recently. It's a good movie. It's free on YouTube, here on YouTube. You can watch the whole movie. I don't know how they managed that with copyrights and all that kind of stuff. Maybe it's not old enough to be out of copyright. I don't know. Don't know how they manage it, but they did. Great film. Well, the French are moving up in the usual way. We shall have to meet them in the usual way. Sounded vaguely like Brian Blessed there. And we shall have to meet them. Okay, Brian Blessed is Yoda, I guess. The seal on this particular document is green. Whoever sent it, it is almost a documentary. It is. With, was it Jeremy Niven? I want to say it was, I don't think it's Jeremy Niven. No, it's not Jeremy Niven. Wellington, playing Wellington. The old Waterloo film. Hello, Nordic Beck. Nordic, you may know the old Waterloo film. Who plays I just said the name. Rod Steiger? No. Who plays? Oh, I just said the name. The general for the British. Oh, good heavens. He wins. Famously. The only person more famous at that battle was Napoleon. Come on, what's the name? Christopher Plummer. Is that Christopher Plummer? As, how did the name leave my head? Like, honestly, I know this name. Who wins? Wellington, thank you. I said it like earlier. Plummer. There we go. Yes, Christopher Plummer. George. Yeah, no, that's not Christopher Plummer. That's Lionel Barrymore in Miracle on 34th Street. George. Christopher Plummer played Lionel Barry. No, Christopher Plummer played John Barrymore in a one-man show. I saw Plummer playing John Barrymore, and he talks about his brother Lionel Barrymore. Sorry, it's a long road to get there. Fabulous play. Arthur Wellesley, 1st Duke of Wellington. And it was funny, I say. It was very Jeremy Niven, I have to say. I say, they seem to be advancing. Oh, yes. We shall have to have tea. Oh, okay. We shall do that now, and then later we shall fight. Oh, yeah, definitely we shall fight. Oh, yes, we're not going to skip the fighting. Not today. No. That's the golden brown. Where's the maple? There's the maple. Did I say Wellington? Are you wearing your Wellingtons? Well, yes. Every shoe I wear is a Wellington. True. We shall not always name them so. No, only some of them. Only the ones I wear on this muddy field of Waterloo. Why don't we call them Waterloos? Because I'm wearing them. Shush. My shoes. Oh, very good. I suppose old Boney is over there wearing his Bonapartes. I shall take his bones apart. Ah. Sellington's uniform. Yes, people were smaller. Absolutely. And thinner. I have to say, thinner. I remember reading the Hardy Boys, the boys, Hardy Boys books, and the illustrations in there. Chet is always described as chunky, but the illustrations, like what was chunky in the 60s, is so not chunky now. You ever get another dog, you'll name him Wellington. Excellent. There's a local guy who he always runs in the elections for councillor. His name is Maltby, and I always see the signs, and I slip into. Oh, I say, Maltby, dash difficult time last night. Oh yes, well, we taught them a lesson or two, I'd say, Maltby, didn't we? Yes. I don't know why I do it, but I do. The name Maltby just makes me think of that. Oh, Magoo, what are you doing down there? If everything goes black, it's because the Magoo has pulled the cord out of the wall. Oh, he's off. I may have to be off soon, too, because he's clearly deciding the time for sitting around painting is over and the time for his nocturnal perambulation, during which he exercises his occasional biological urges on the grass, is drawing nigh. All those farmhouses in North America. And going sideways. Oh my heavens. That's just downright insulting, that is. Well, I know they around here, all of the Presbyterians, it's just the Presbyterian churches, something about the austere Scotsman, I guess. All the Presbyterian churches have a central door in the front of a central tower. And the door is underneath the tower. When you go in, you're going in on the ground floor, but the sanctuary is up half of a flight, half a story. So you go in and there's a wall, and there's only like a table there with bulletins and cross or whatever. But then there's two staircases going up to either side, and they are narrow and they are steep. And if you have any mobility issues, you are not going to a Presbyterian church. I can tell you that. I mean, now these days, most of them have a second entrance that they've cut in from somewhere else. Like maybe they've got a church hall or something where they have coffee after service, and they've put an entrance through to there with a lift of some kind. Because anybody with a walker or in a wheelchair is just out of luck. You're not coming to church. Too bad. And it's only the Presbyterian churches around here for some reason. I don't know what it is. Presbyterians are like us. They can't have too many people coming into church. Got to make it difficult. Put up the staircase. A wee narrow staircase. That's steep. None of them cripples will get in to see Jesus then. David Lee Roth. Well, do the accent again. You want that, do you? Do you want the accent? Oh, I suppose it entertains you. Oh, it entertains you sitting there playing with your wee soldiers while I paint one of my own wee soldiers. And that's supposed to be funny for you, is it? You reprobate. I don't know why I can't do a Scottish accent without being nasty somehow. All the Scots I've ever mentioned or ever met are very lovely people. I don't know why. I know why. Mike Myers is why. Heed! Get down, Heed! The size of the head on that kid, you said earlier, small people with big heads. The size of the head on that child. The enormous. You're blocking the television. Why his characters, Scottish characters, also aggressive. That's still intelligible. Oh, you don't entertain. You're done playing with your wee toy soldiers, pushing wee cardboard counters about. You want wee soldiers. What wee soldiers? Look at the soldiers that fought there at Waterloo. There was wee with big heads. Not many people knew it, but those bearskin helmets, they were full. That was not hollow up there. It's just the soldiers had these enormous Q-tip shaped heads. You ever seen the show Little Britain? No, not Little Britain. Yeah, Little Britain. That's the one. Is it Little Britain or is it the Mitchell and Webb? Oh, now I can't remember if it's Mitchell and Webb or Little Britain. They're very similar. No, it's Little Britain. And there's one about this Scottish hotelier, and he talks in a cartoon. Is his cartoony accent, but he also wants to create a sense of mystery. So he keeps saying, she's asking the contents of some, the recipe for some dish. That was very good. What's the recipe? First, you take the liquor from the udder of a cow. The cow, mind you, cow. That's when the guy comes in and he's like allergic to, his kid's allergic to nuts. They're asking about the dessert tray, the dessert cart, you know. Do any of these cakes have nuts? And he picks up each cake and he asks it, pound cake, have ye any nuts? And he he listens to the thing. The pound cake has no nuts. It's the stupidest thing. He does it for all the cake. Lemon drizzle cake, have ye any nuts? The lemon drizzle cake has no nuts. Very weird. That whole show is very weird, but that particular sketch is very strange. Robin Williams on golf. No, I haven't. The pound cake has no nuts. It's been oof. All right. What are we working on? We're working on an hour 45, and he's got his wee skirt done now. His wee skirt is done. All you can see is blocky. What if what you're looking at right now was actually what it looked like? There. It shouldn't have taken me an hour 45 if that's all it looks like. It looks better in person. Not great, but better. I kind of like it blurry. You can imagine it as well done as you want. You can imagine, you know, like, oh, if I did that, that's what it would look like. Say, sure, that's what it looks like, everyone. That's what I'm going to say. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Okay. Lemon drizzle cake. Oh, you're forgiven. Absolvo te. Let's see. Gonna take some more country maple because I'm Canadian and I want that maple in there. Little Britness will be. The computer said no. Do you see the one where the computer says yes? She doesn't know what to do. Computer said yes. That was, I mean, you want to talk about inappropriate humor. That stuff was just, I mean, you could never make it today. Because although they did and said things that were obscenely, like, over the top racist, they were doing it to make fun of racism. But you'd never get away with it today. You'd never get away with it today. I have to say, the one thing I didn't like in that show, and I didn't like it when Saturday Night Live did it either, was the vomiting. I just don't find people vomiting funny. It's just... There goes the paint. Uh-oh. Where? What did I do? Oh. Computer says no. Or the woman in the asylum. She just crowed like a chicken. And the one where she's working on a at a library, and they see her in the tour. And of course, Anne has a job now here at the library, and she has a great deal of accomplishment, she feels, from doing this job. And she's, you know, and she's ripping pages out of books and every other weird thing. But then someone calls her cell phone and she answers it. Hello? Yeah, I'm just at work now. Yeah, no, I'll be back by 10. All right. Click. It's ridiculous. It's all an act. Oh man, that show was bizarre. Waffersen mint is Waffersen. Oh, I knocked the bottle. Okay, thank you. So there's the problem with the lag, right? By the time you see it, it's like 2 minutes old, and then by the time the comment comes through, and then I look up to see it, all over. So you can't see it on because it's so blurry, but there's these little like little straps or stitching things holding the layers together, presumably. Just making them black. Just making them black. Oh, train's coming through. And right now, Magoo is looking at me accusingly because when that train whistle sounds, generally, we are halfway through our WALK. So he's like, why are you sitting there talking to yourself, fiddling with those little pieces of plastic that I am not allowed to chew for some reason? Oh, they look tasty. Let me chew one. Even better than an ice cube. Thanks. Yeah, when you'd be a new person, he'd just jump on you anyway. That's all he'd do. He's getting big because he's again coonhound Rottweiler mix. So he's got the length of a coonhound, but he's starting to get the bulk of a Rottweiler. So he's just way too big to be as friendly as he is. But you wouldn't want him to be unfriendly, I guess. He's a sweet dog. He is a sweet dog. Thank you. Oh, yes, that worked out. That worked out, I think. You know what? We're doing it. I'm going to let that make the dog wait. No, now the bird wants to let you know that she's there too. I don't have to, take her anywhere. It'd be very awkward if I did. So I was going to do all of this in metallics, but I've decided not. I've decided we're going with this red. I like it so much. Once it goes on much brighter, but once it dries, it is this wonderful brownish red, reddish brown. And it's quite nice. So I'm just going with it. There's Greaves as well. Not Greaves up this high, is it? I don't know. I don't know armor terms, I have to say. I did at one point. But now I'm in my 50s and I just don't care anymore. On your 5th Rottweiler, my heavens. You are brand loyal, I'll say that. And my aunt had Rottweilers. They're purebred Rottweilers. And this guy's mixed with a coonhound. His shape is coonhound shape. He's just getting bigger and beefier than most coonhounds. Yeah, she and my uncle had. Right, well, as I said, she and my uncle had them because they were her dogs, I think. I think he was like, okay, sure, all right. I don't know that he was. I mean, I think he liked the dogs. It wasn't like he wasn't, I think he was sort of like, whatever. But yeah. They actually had, at one point, they had a Rottweiler and a Doberman Pinscher. It's like, is it just the color scheme you're going for? And then you're trying to like match your drapes or something? The last dog, a Highland Terrier, passed away 2 years ago, and I haven't gotten another dog since. Saddled with a stray cat. Well, stray cats have a way of worming their way in, don't they? They worm their way in. His boots. They're made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you. Come on, boots. Start walking. Don't have much burnt umber. I don't need much. Matter of fact, we just rescued a puppy a month ago. Really? That's lovely stuff. Magoo's a rescue too. He's kind of a rescue. He's the puppy of a rescue. His mother was the rescue dog, really, but she came in great with puppy, and so ended up being. He was born in captivity, if you will. I wonder if I still have. Cat's not a bad cat, like my shadow. Really? You're the only one he allows to. That's kind of sweet when cats are like that. Like, even though it's sort of bratty of them. If you're the one that they let pick them up, it's like, well, I don't know. Maybe he just prefers me. I don't know. It's kind of fun. I'm looking for now. Yeah, this is why we adopted this guy, because this is him as a puppy. That picture right there. Faux Fire, my wife, she'd had big dogs growing up, and because her parents, it was at one point where her mother went back to work and worked nights, and her father worked nights already, and so they're kind of like alone in the house, and so they bought big dogs, boxers. They get something big that barks a lot, that'll be threatening, and try to, just because the kids are going to be home alone, kind of thing. And so when we started thinking about a dog, she just defaulted to a large dog. So that's what she had grown up with. I'd had a collie, and when I was really little, my dad had a beagle. When I lived with, I guess it was my dog. He's supposed to be the kid's dog, right? But it was when I lived with my dad before he died. I actually wonder about that. Whoever got Bandit is the dog's name. I wonder who got Bandit. Probably my stepmother got him. That's who he was married to when he died. But so I'd had sort of small to medium-sized dogs, but Faux Fire always had big dogs. So she got a. When she was looking, that was what her sort of default was, and she found this guy, and I was like, oh, Rottweiler, that's a lot of dog for our house. Got 5 people in this house, and it's not a big house by any stretch of the imagination, and I don't know. And then she showed me that picture, and that was kind of all over. Like, okay, yeah, of course we have to have that dog. Like, well, he'll get bigger, Oh, of course he'll get bigger, but we have to have that dog. I mean, look at that face. Time to turn into a pumpkin. Good night, Jorge. How you have a good night. After I picked him up when he started licking my arm, trying to groom me. Found in a lot in Atlanta, had 14 staples and stitches. Now, good heavens. Stupid puppy collar cut into her neck. Ugh. Well, that's the thing. They have a puppy collar on, and it doesn't, they don't keep sizing it up. Yeah, that could be pretty wretched. That can be pretty wretched. I'm in the home stretch here, folks. I was going to call it quits at the waist, because I was looking at the time, but I'm so close. You've only had larger dogs? I suspect there is, Nordic. Thing is, people who abuse pets also tend to abuse people. So it is of a piece. It is of a piece. Now, his pants, make them gray. ironically. It's just a different gray. Actually, going to let some of the other gray show through so it makes them look a little more fabricy. Not quite as flat. Don't think that'll actually read, but in my mind, that's what it'll do. So when I look at it, that's what I will see. It's my magic show. I get to see what I want to see. I'm going to go over that bit where I slopped a bit from the top of the boot. Actually, I don't know if these are supposed to be boots. I think it's supposed to be like kind of Roman sandals with a leg wrapping, but I'm just calling them boots because that way I don't have to try to paint individual straps. That would drive me nuts. Throwaway. Good Lord. Yeah, how's the dog doing now? We hope well. We hope well. What am I doing? Now I'm starting to sort of rush. This is not good. Oh well. Stop rushing. Stop rushing. Doesn't matter. I'm so close, folks. If I can get this done, if I can do an entire mini in 2 hours, and a relatively complex mini. I mean, he's not a simple guy. He's not super complicated, but he's not. I haven't done a sword yet. Oh man, that and the eyes will be the finishing touches. Emergency. Urgent. Gotta get him some gold on his legs, his leg thingies here. Yeah, he's starting to whine. I may not have an option. I may be forced into action, my friends. One thing is, when it involves this sort of thing, the dog always has a trump card. Namely, he can pee on the floor. That is the dog's ultimate trump card. Okay, I think he needs to go out. So, and I took his urgency and I made a mistake. Unforced error, but I can clean it up. That's not too bad. Just mirror it on the other side and it looks like I did it on purpose. Okay, so I'm going to have to send a picture of the puppy. PML's Discord, Paint Minis Live's Discord, general puppy here. Share screen, just hang on there. That is a puppy. That's a puppy. That's Road March's puppy. It is better, but I don't think he's got that kind of aim, Nordic. But the floor he can hit. Okay, just wait. We're going to go. We're going to go. Don't worry. All right, folks. But perforce I must go. I will be finishing this up when I get home because it really is. I'm very close. I will take pictures and I will post them in the. Oh, good heavens. Give it up. I will post them in the I'll post it here on YouTube. So oof, there we go. All right. Oh, that's very bright. Like a vampire. A vampire here. No, that. There. Down to some human levels. Okay. I am going to be off to walk the dog. Again, as I say, I'll post pictures here, Facebook, Discord, Twitter. I'll post them around. Again, not that it's going to be any great shakes. Don't expect much. But do you want to say hello to people, Magoo? Do you want to say hello? Come here. You come here. Turn the camera down. Oh, we're going to have to turn the light up, though. Otherwise, no one will see you. Here, let's see. There you go. There you go. Yeah. There you go. All right. So I got to take you out. And you have a good night, everyone. Sleep tight. Let the bed bugs bite. They need to eat too. See you on the other side.